Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about breaking free from bad money habits and taking control of your finances. And one of the most life-changing skills I've learned through it all is how to handle my own finances, recognize my bad money habits, and break free from them. In this video, I'm going to share with you 9 of the most common bad money habits that hold people back and tips on how to break out of them. Number 1 is paying yourself last. I first heard of this in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and it's one of the blueprints in achieving financial freedom. Robert explains that the way people pay their bills can be broken down into 2 types. The first way is the poor people's habit, and that is through paying yourself last. So as soon as your paycheck comes in, you then pay your rent, your phone bill, your subscriptions, your social plans, and then you'll save whatever's left over if there is even any money left to save. The second method he talks about is the rich people's habit, and they do the complete opposite. They pay themselves first, and that is what you want to do. Take 10% minimum and put that into your savings account the minute you get paid. Treat it like paying a bill. This is so important, and by doing this, you're guaranteeing that that money will be saved and won't just slip through your fingers through spending. A lot of people are probably thinking there is no way I can do this. I live paycheck to paycheck. But the surprising thing is when you take that 10% and put it away, your mind will think of ways and structure. You're spending your finances to last for the whole month, and you won't even realize that you're saving in the background. People don't realize how much they're spending on paying the bills, buying something new, going on that weekend away, and then they save whatever's left. But that is the backwards mentality. The key is to pay yourself first instead of making other people richer by buying their things before you pay yourself. The second bad money habit is getting comfortable with bad debt. It seems that debt these days is actually the norm. People are using debt to buy the smallest of things, to buy presents, to buy clothes. But I have a strict rule that is unless I can afford to pay for that thing outright and in cash, I shouldn't be buying it with any form of debt. Remember, credit card companies want you to be bad with your finances because that's how they make money. From this, the average credit card interest rate is 22%, which cancels all kind of benefits and rewards these credit card companies are providing. If you're not able to pay them off in time, there are exceptions, I'd say, to this rule like emergency healthcare, property and education, which fall into a different category. But you still want to be managing your debt and paying off your high-interest debt as soon as possible. Number 3 is not having a stockpile. This ties into point number 1, which is about paying yourself first. And essentially, it's saving enough so that you have a buffer behind you of about 3 to 6 months. This is super important, and it will give you peace of mind just by having this buffer kept to one side and available to tap into if you need it. You free up that mental energy to designate to more important things. So how do you gather this 6 months of buffer? It's through that paying yourself first. Start putting that 10% away, and once you have your stockpile, then you can start using the additional money you save to building into your investment fund and looking at investments. Number 4 is not knowing your income or expenses properly. Until you know what your starting point is, how do you know where you want to be? There's something called lifestyle inflation, and that is your spending will rise as your income rises. The more money you make, the more you spend, and before you know it, you're living paycheck to paycheck. To avoid this, you need to know your income and expenses and track them. Use a budgeting app or create a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter as long as you know where your money is going. Once you know this, you can adjust your spending and start saving for your future. Number 5 is not having a financial plan. A lot of people just go through life without a plan, and that is not a good way to live. You need to have a plan for your money, a plan for your future, and a plan for your retirement. Without a plan, you're just going through life aimlessly, and that is not a good way to live. You need to have a plan and stick to it. A financial plan can help you set goals, establish a budget, and track your progress. It can also help you identify areas where you may need to cut back on spending and allocate more money towards savings or investments. It's important to review your financial plan regularly and make adjustments as needed. Number 6 is not having an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable and things happen, whether it's a car breaking down or losing your job. You need to have an emergency fund to cover these unexpected events. A good rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up. This will give you peace of mind and make sure you're covered if something happens. An emergency fund can help you avoid going into debt when an unexpected expense arises. It's important to have this fund separate from your regular savings account and to only use it for emergencies. Number 7 is not investing. A lot of people just save their money in a savings account, and that is not a good way to grow your money. Inflation will eat away at your savings and you'll lose money over time. You need to invest your money in order to grow it. There are many different types of investments, such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and real estate. It's important to research and understand the different options available and to diversify your investments to minimize risk. It's also important to have a long-term investment strategy and not to make impulsive investment decisions based on short-term market fluctuation. Number 8 is not having insurance. A lot of people think they don't need insurance, but that is not the case. You need to have insurance to protect yourself and your assets. Whether it's health insurance, life insurance, or car insurance, you need to have it. Without it, you're taking a huge risk, and that is not a good way to live. Insurance can help protect you financially in the event of an accident, illness, or other unexpected event. It's important to have the right insurance coverage to fit your needs and to review your insurance policies regularly to ensure they are still meeting your needs. Number 9 is not having a will. A lot of people think they don't need a will, but that is not the case. You need to have a will to make sure your assets are distributed the way you want them to be. Without a will, the government will decide how your assets are distributed, and that is not a good way to live. A will can help ensure that your assets are distributed according to your wishes and that your loved ones are taken care of. It's important to review your will regularly and make updates as needed. So there you have it. 9 of the most common bad money habits that hold people back and tips on how to break out of them. Remember, it's never too late to start making changes and taking control of your finances. Take the time to evaluate your current habits and make a plan to break free from any bad ones. But don't just stop there. Always be on the lookout for ways to improve your finances. Read books, listen to podcasts, and follow financial experts to stay informed and motivated. And most importantly, don't be afraid to ask for help. Whether it's talking to a financial advisor, a trusted friend or family member, or even a therapist, there's no shame in seeking help when it comes to managing your finances. In conclusion, managing your finances is a lifelong journey, and it's not always easy. But by breaking free from bad money habits and taking control of your finances, you'll be one step closer to achieving financial freedom. It is important to set financial goals, create a budget, and invest wisely. Additionally, it's important to educate yourself on financial matters and seek professional advice when needed. Remember, small changes in spending and saving habits can lead to big changes in your financial future. Building an emergency fund and reducing debt are also important steps towards financial stability. Also, it's important to regularly review and adjust your financial plan as needed to keep up with changes in your life and financial situation. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more helpful financial tips and advice.